Everyone, we're going to begin the program in about 10 minutes. And for those of you online, this is a great time for you to test your setup. You can make your donation today by texting the code AGELESS to 44321. That's AGELESS to 44321. And we'll begin in about 10 minutes.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly, owner of Neil Kelly Company and a former board chair of Volunteers of America.
And I'm Julia Spence. I was the human resource manager at Neil Kelly Company for a number of years and also a former board member of Volunteers of America.
I am thrilled to be here today to see Kay recognized. Her steady leadership over these last 20 years for Volunteers of America has been a huge contribution to our community.
I had the honor of serving on the selection committee when we hired Kay. We lured her away from the state of Oregon, and we felt incredibly lucky that she wanted to come to head up Volunteers of America. It's been an incredible benefit for the VOA, and I hope it's been a wonderful time for Kay. So we wish her
Congratulations, Kay.
Our law firm represents older adults who have been hurt, physically or financially. We do so with care, compassion, and the utmost of dedication to our clients. Today, the civil justice system does not appropriately value the lives of older adults. Value is placed on earning capacity. Value is placed on physical strength and wellness. Value is placed on youth. We change that narrative with each and every case we handle. We hold entities fully financially accountable for their negligence and the damage that they cause. We demand that the justice system acknowledge the value of the lives of older adults. Our justice system must require that the lives of seniors be fully recognized for their countless contributions to our society. Anything less simply will not do. We are Johnson McCall, and we stand with our older adults who have been harmed. It is with gratitude that we learn from our clients and work together for change.
Good afternoon. Sorry. Welcome everyone to Age Plus's 2024 Ageless Award Luncheon. Delighted to have all of you here with us at Avenue Portland and all those also who join online around the state. I'm Kerry Timchuk, Executive Director of the Oregon Historical Society. My pleasure to be your MC today as we celebrate today's honorees and join with you in supporting Age Plus in their work that changes history for the better for older adults across Oregon. As you look around the room, I want to point out that screen. There's some great mottos there at that screen below, some great quotes, including some of my favorites. The great George Burns once said, "You can't help getting older, but you don't have to get old." And the actress Helen Hayes once said, "If you rest, you rust." We're celebrating individuals today who aren't old and who have never rusted in their life. And as we begin, Age Plus wants to recognize that they reside and provide programs and services on the ancestral homelands of the tribes who have rights and interests across Oregon. Given Age Plus's commitment to the principles of equity and inclusion, they acknowledge a special role in recognition of tribal and indigenous elders on whose ancestral lands we reside. We also want to acknowledge and thank you, the amazing sponsors here with us today, for supporting Age Plus. Karen Wilson and Michael DeShane, the law firm of Johnson McCall, On Point Community Credit Union and USI, AARP Oregon, All Care Health, Cambia, Care Oregon, Manor Management, Neil Kelly, Oregon Healthcare Association, Pacific West Bank, PSU Foundation, Providence Health Services, Springboard Group, Touchmark, and Volunteers of America. A round of applause for our sponsors this afternoon. We also want to thank and acknowledge the Age Plus Board of Directors. If you're on the Age Plus Board of Directors, raise your hand, stand up. Well, thank you for the work you're doing. We have some VIP elected officials with us in the room tonight. I saw State Representative Tana Sanchez. Tana, State Representative, delighted to have you here today. I believe County Commissioner Julia Brim Edwards might be with us. Julia, if you're here. District Attorney Mike Schmidt, City Commissioner Dan Ryan, and Portland School Board member Michelle DePass. A round of applause for all the people who work so hard and public officials. We also have some past honorees of this award with us this evening. I saw several in the audience today. The one and only Senator Margaret Carter right down here. So we have the one and only Bob Stoll right over here. Robert, raise your hand. So I know I saw Bernie and Bobby Foster with us this afternoon. Bernie and Bobby, great to have you here. Also, I believe Louise Muir, Ed Edmo, and Dan Steffi, and Maria Rojo de Steffi, all past recipients with us today. So, also acknowledge that this last year we lost two past recipients of this award: the wonderful Bob Moore of Bob's Red Mill, and the amazing Catherine Harrison, who I believe was the most influential Native American leader in Oregon the last half century. So let's take a moment of silence in honor of Bob and Catherine. Thank you. It's been a big year for Age Plus. They successfully transitioned leadership from their founder, Karen Brown Wilson, to their new CEO, Stephanie Hooper. Join me in welcoming Stephanie Hooper, CEO of Age Plus Oregon. So, yeah.
Thank you, Carrie. We're so appreciative that you're here with us again. And you always do such a great job for us. Thank you. Today, we celebrate the contributions of our honorees, our founder, and learn from their experiences. Tomorrow and onward, I'll be reflecting on what their contributions mean for my own, what their example means for my own contributions to Age Plus and its impact on the state's well-being. Every day, I'm inspired by our founder, Karen Brown Wilson's continuing legacy, because she's not done yet. I've had the pleasure of working side by side with her for more than 7 years, and her path informs and energizes mine. I love you, Karen. As for my vision, I see a future without ageism, where the culture in Oregon is more just and age positive. This year, Age Plus will launch a leadership exchange on ageism, directly influencing how our leaders and decision makers can accelerate this change. We will continue to innovate and not accept the status quo, particularly in rural, affordable, accessible housing. Very soon, our modular projects in Madras and Talent will open their doors, and we'll break ground on a third. I can feel the warm welcome to those residents in my bones, sweat and tears. In this work, my Age Plus team and I stand beside you with confidence, inspired by our honorees, and committed to supporting all generations to build a strong Oregon together that works for everyone. And this is where you can all be part of this movement too. Please join us in advancing the Shared Future Oregon campaign to become an age-friendly state. On your tables and on our website, you will see a letter to Governor Kotek for you to fill in and leave at your tables or mail in. Please lend your voice and let her know that we need to work collectively and plan for all generations to live and age well as we experience an unprecedented, permanent shift in our demographics. Thank you all for being here today, for your active commitment to a brighter shared future for all ages at all stages. It is now my great pleasure to welcome Dr. Margaret Neal to announce this year's Age-Friendly Business Awards. Margaret?
Thank you, Stephanie. It is a great honor to be here to present the Age-Friendly Business Awards. These awards honor businesses and organizations that are committed to creating equitable, intergenerational environments. What makes a business age-friendly? Advertising and outreach strategies that address and show people of all ages. A business that's culturally inclusive, accommodating to people of all ages and abilities. For example, staff trained in cultural sensitivity and how best to serve older adults. The physical environment, if it's appropriate, that accommodates customers of all abilities. Acoustics and visibility that accommodate people with a wide range of abilities. Informational materials, brochures, menus that are accessible to people of all abilities in design, layout, and content. For example, font size, type, color choice, website features that are accessible, and the business is reachable by phone or email. These are just some examples of how a business can be age-friendly. So, those of you who are businesses or nonprofits or governmental organizations, those of you who think you might meet these qualifications, we invite you to apply for next year's awards. And this is how you do it. You go to the Ageless Awards page on the website, or you can use this QR code, and that will connect you to the online application. If you don't want to do it online, you can request paper copies of the application, and we strongly encourage you to consider applying. So, next, it is my great honor to introduce our new awardees for this year. They are Gal Pal Productions. Where are these? Where are our awardees? Over here. Can you stand up, please? We're so excited. Gal Pal Productions, Curves of Corvallis, also stand up. Thank you. And Capers Cafe and Catering. And next, Carrie.
When I mentioned the public officials here today earlier, not in the room, but he just came in the room now, being tardy will be marked down on his permanent record. Please join me in welcoming City Commissioner Dan Ryan right here. So. Also a shout out to all those across Oregon who are joining us virtually this afternoon. That includes watch parties in Roseburg, Redmond, and the Dalles. People gathering to watch there. Some of the watch parties right there. And believe it or not, a watch party just outside Salem in a magical place known as the Enchanted Forest. That's where our first honoree, Roger Tofte, joins us from. Let's learn more about Roger.
I'm Roger Tofte, creator of Enchanted Forest, and I started this in 1964. First, I couldn't get anybody interested in the idea. I know down at work, when I worked for the highway, they were kidding me, and I was an idiot heel doing and this and that. That just spurred me on to keep going. And so I just kept plugging away through the years. As I got the money, just buy a sack of cement at a time. Enchanted Forest is a setting in the deep woods, a lot of trees. I tried to integrate the man-made things into the atmosphere of the forest. So we couldn't get in with heavy equipment and all this, so a lot of that we had to pack in by hand and work these areas without bulldozing and tearing up things. Part of any amusement park, especially a theme park, is essential that you have, I think, artists behind the whole thing. Otherwise, it's just nothing but carnival atmosphere. Seeing the park expand, and as people come through, you know, running around and kids yelling and seeing them happy, and the grandparents or whoever's with them, they can all enjoy this together. So that's rewarding. It never even dawned on me to quit, and I'd like to see things flourish and keep going and adding as much as we can to make it better. This is great. I feel very honored to accept this award. It's been many years for my dream to come true. So I want to thank everybody involved in this. Thank you.
How many here, as a parent or grandparent, has taken your kids or grandkids to Enchanted Forest? Look at this. Let's all thank Roger again, helping us all live happily ever after. What an amazing story. So, there's an old saying about the word volunteer, that it comes from, the meaning is volun, from Latin, meaning to knock oneself out, and tier meaning without pay. I'm hard-pressed to find anyone in Oregon who has knocked themselves out more for less pay than our next honoree. From the Oregon Arts Commission to the Willamette Falls Trust to the Jackson Foundation to Portland Civic Theater to Portland Center Stage to the Multnomah Athletic Foundation to the Portland Parks Foundation and many, many more, somehow she finds time to be a competitive synchronized swimmer in all this. Let's learn more about our honoree, the wonderful Julie Vigland.
This is my proudest achievement. I am actually sitting in my numbered seat, and this one would be my husband's. This was a dream. This was a space that needed to have life in it. The stars did align for us to make this theater a reality. I don't know how many people watching were ever in the Armory, but we found all kinds of stories of people, everything from riding horses to wrestling to whatever, that they'd had experience in the Armory. So this Armory has so many voices in it. It has so much history, and that we brought it to a new use, and now there are so many more people who have an opportunity to be here and experience something that has a lot of history in Portland. I think that I am the person I am because of the volunteer opportunities that I had. And I say opportunities because I mean that. So many times I have just said yes when I really wasn't sure. When I took on the chairmanship for the YWCA for their second annual big luncheon, I wasn't sure. I wasn't involved at the Y, but what a marvelous experience was that, and I had opportunity to get to know people I wouldn't have known otherwise. I think maybe another really good example is for a few years, a very close friend wanted me to get involved at the Portland Parks Board. And I just said, no, I was past 50, I determined I was doing everything in the arts, and no. She took me to lunch and she said, Julie, you have to think about it. There's art in our parks, and the parks make our city beautiful, which is art. And so I couldn't say no. And that led to the Portland Parks Foundation, and that led to the creation of the Barbara Walker Crossing that I worked on for years. All of those things, by saying yes, even after saying no sometimes, made a difference, I hope, to others, but it certainly did to me. To live purposefully is to be doing something outside yourself. So I feel I'm fortunate to be able to bring what I can as an individual, the skills and knowledge that I have, that I am able to bring that to help make Portland just that much better.
Join me in congratulating our honoree, Julie Vigeland, right over here. So.
I don't think I can hold both. Thank you to Age Plus. I really appreciate this honor. It is a very special honor for years of involvement. I also thank those who are seated at my table and others who came. It's kind of like looking out to a part of my history here. It's quite overpowering. I also want to say a special thank you to my daughter. I've never been able to have her at something that's kind of an honor, and it's very special to have her here. For me, I have been involved here because I so believe in Portland. And how did I get to believe in Portland? I grew up in Salem, but going to Portland meant going to a movie that was a first-run movie. And when I was married and we lived in Portland, I was teaching in Gresham, and I just really wasn't involved in the city. Then we spent 4 years in Germany in the military and came back here, 2 kids by that time. And I got involved in the kids' schools, of course, but I felt there was something missing. And most of that was that I didn't really know about Portland. And here, this is probably a place where my husband was going to practice medicine. And so I decided that I needed to do something about that, and just started getting involved, just saying yes. You know, if somebody asks you, you say yes. But after about 20 years, it was like, I am losing a little bit of passion for what I'm doing. And so I kind of took stock of what I was doing, and I determined that the arts were where I really had my deep passion. And so for the past 30 plus years, that's where I've spent most of my time, except for in parks, as was mentioned earlier from my friend who convinced me that the two went together. Why am I still doing this? I'm 80. I could retire, although I don't know if you can really retire if you are a volunteer. But I don't want to retire. I love what I'm doing. I want to try and make a difference. I love this city, and anything that I can do to help make it a better one. But you can also, and I want you to kind of imagine right now a big mirror that's looking out at all of you. And that mirror is saying, look at me, look at you actually, and it's the energy, the knowledge, the leadership that's in this room. And we really need to harness that and help Portland get back to what it has been, because I know we can do it. The other thing I want to say, and this one's hard, is my husband passed away recently, and he would have loved to have been here. He is the reason that I am here. He enjoyed everything I did. He supported everything I did. And this truly is for him. And I would love you to give him an ovation.
Now, if you ever need proof that the fountain of youth is actually in a swimming pool, we've seen that with Julie. We're going to see it with our next honoree, who was proof of the old saying as well that good things and amazing people do come in small packages. Peggy Konzak of Roseburg, Oregon, has been teaching infant and toddler swimming lessons at the Y for over half a century. And let's learn more about her inspiring story.
I'm 102 and a half, and I've been teaching here at the Y for 55 years. I started swimming here at the Roseburg YMCA just to come in and swim. And my friend asked me if I would bring her little boy, Grant, to the parent-taught class, and I said, sure, I'd be glad to do that. And so I joined the class with about 6 or 7 other moms and their little ones. And at the end of the month, the instructor came up to me and said, Peggy, you teach the class. I have another job. And I said, well, I've never done this before. And she said, that's fine, you'll do it. I'm sure you'll do a good job. So come the next Tuesday morning, I came and I was the instructor. I signed no contract, I had nothing. My first 50 years I did as a volunteer. And then here 5 years ago, they said I had to get paid. So here I am, getting paid a paycheck at 102. That's crazy. I have had so many of my babies that I taught to swim come to my class. And now I'm having their babies, and I'm having grandmas and grandpas that I have taught. And it's a thrill to me to see them. Many of them I still keep in touch with. It's so nice to see people happy, and yet you're doing something that you know may save their life someday. And besides that, it's a wonderful sport to play, to swim and exercise. And it's something that even when you get to be 102, you can still use it. Why would I retire when I'm having so much fun?
Join me in congratulating Ageless Award honoree Peggy Konzak right over here. So.
this is indeed a pleasure and so rewarding. I don't know what to say. It's so exciting. I've known about this for a few months, and I thought, I'll never make it. I'll never make it. But here I am in front of all you wonderful people. Thank you. And I want to say one thing. At my age, at 102, I feel very blessed. But in practically most of my life, I have been a vegetarian. Good. And also I've been active. Both my husband and I have had many wonderful times together. And then I'll give the Y a big, oh, I'm very thankful for my wife. And they bless me every day with help, and it's just wonderful. And then another thing, my faith has been good. I believe that we need one day to rest from all these exercises and fun things. Thank you again. You've been wonderful.
After seeing what swimming has done for Julie and Peggy, I'm just going to start drinking chlorine straight up. But Peggy's 103rd birthday will be in June, and since I don't think we're all getting to Roseburg, Peggy, let's have everyone sing "Happy Birthday" to Peggy right now. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peggy. Happy birthday to you. One of my favorite quotes are the words of the late Governor Tom McCall, who once said that heroes are not giant statues framed against a red sky. They are individuals who say, this is my community, and it's my responsibility to make it better. You go anywhere in this community, anywhere in this state, and you'll find few people who have given more of their time and talent to making Oregon a better place, especially for children's families and seniors, than our next honoree, Kay Turan. Let's learn more about Kay.
The role that I play at Volunteers of America Oregon is that I'm the president and CEO. I'm responsible for the overall operation of the organization. The choice to become a social worker as a professional was an easy choice for me to make. I believe I was born to do this work, but more importantly than that, I have these wonderful parents who demonstrated daily what risk-taking was, how you respond to adversity, and how you make a commitment to change. The rewards that I receive from the work that I do is really seeing the gratitude and the joy that comes on the faces of individuals who benefited from the work that we do. You can see how they want to tell the world, I'm better, I've made a change. That's my lifeblood, to see that, to feel that, to hear that, and to know that in many, many ways we're making a difference in the lives of people who live in our community, but we're also making a difference in the community itself. So that's my joy, and that's the motivation that I receive. Retirement is not really a word in my lexicon. Each decade is an opportunity. Each decade gives me joy and purpose. So I won't retire. I just simply will do something that's different, that's adventurous and wonderful, and hopefully will help me to grow even more. I think we live in a culture where everybody wants to stay young, and that's such a mistake because you're not going to stay young. You have two choices. You either get older or you die. And I think people need to recognize that part of living is getting older. And we need to stop promoting the belief that people can always be 20 years of age. It's not realistic, and we don't want to. We want to learn and grow and give. So to people who are moving into the older years of their life, love yourself, love others, be committed to your family and friends and to people you don't even know. Because if you do that, you will get a reward that will motivate you to take big risks with your life and embrace the adventure that's for all of us. And I think that adventure is there for all of us until the day that we die. And if you approach your life that way, you will never feel old. You will feel like you are making a difference and you're engaged, and as a consequence, you're youthful for all of your life.
Congratulations to the force of nature that is Kay Turan.
Wow. Thank you. Can you hear me okay? Well, you know, I was thinking about the time limit that I was told. I had 1 minute to say thank you, but I am going to start by saying I am thrilled to be 81 years of age.
Oh.
Love it. Love it. I have so much more living to do, and you can follow me if you choose, but we'll get there. Whenever I receive this kind of a recognition, I cannot not acknowledge all of the shoulders that I stand on. My parents, my family, my friends, my coworkers, all of the great organizations that I work with, and certainly the best organization that I've worked with, and that's Volunteers of America. They make it possible to rise up for people to see the work that we do. And that is so important to me, and I'm so grateful. And I want to thank everybody who's had a part in my being able to contribute to the world that we live in. It would not be Kay Turan, though, if I didn't say at least one sobering thought. The fastest growing population in the United States of America are people 85 years of age and older. A few of them will be independent. Some of them will be non-dependent, meaning that they will need to have some help with their daily lives. But unfortunately, many of them will be totally dependent. So it's going to be all of our responsibility to commit ourselves to invest in and to support the safety network, the safety net for all of the people as they get older. And if we do not subscribe to that, and if we do not acknowledge that, we do so at our own peril. So thank you for all of this. Thank you for your contributions for being here. Thank Karen and her team for their leadership. And God bless.
We have one more award this afternoon, but before we get to that, a treat for everyone today. True Treasure of Portland here to perform for us. Join me in welcoming the Portland Gay Men's Chorus.
Good afternoon. My name is Tony Lineweber, and I'm honored to be able to co-present together with Marcus Mundy today the inaugural first ever Visionary Award of Age Plus to its founder, Karen Brown Wilson. My journey with Karen began almost 30 years ago when we both served on the PSU Foundation board together. And since then, I've been privileged to work alongside her on the boards of both the Jesse F. Richardson Foundation as well as Age Plus board. Webster defines visionary as a person thinking about or planning the future and with imagination and wisdom. Karen embodies all of these attributes. They're not as alternatives with the word or, but as complementary assets with the conjunctive word of and. Thinking about, planning, imagining, and all supported by the wisdom of her years of dedication. These have positioned her for leadership in garnering support to put practical boots-on-the-ground plans into action. Testimony to this is the reach and success of her current work throughout Oregon, from talent to Madras, with housing, and in Salem with legislation, and in Nicaragua and potentially elsewhere internationally. I invite us to recall the exhortation of Dr. King when delivering his iconic I Have a Dream speech during the 1963 March on Washington. His life was that of a visionary, continually walking his talk. Karen has a vision, has always included walking her talk as well. In her case, it has been as a sleeves rolled up advocate to better the lives and outcomes for older people. Through Shared Future Oregon, she leads the way now for older citizens and our younger generations to come together in support of each other. The vision is clear. The work still lies before her and us. Now I'd like to ask Marcus Mundy to join at the microphone to share some perspective from his view as a board member of Age Plus.
Thank you, Tony. Thanks, everybody, for coming out today. I was introduced to Karen Brown Wilson when I was still at the Urban League of Portland, where we had a center serving older adults. Back then, we called them seniors, but now, since I'm one of them, I just say older adults. Okay. She would be instrumental in convening disparate groups and organizations serving older adults in our statewide, and that was my introduction to her, but it was a welcome introduction. Even then, she was a stalwart and vocal, very vocal, advocate for the aging population, which, by the way, is all of us. When I joined the board of Age Plus, however, at the behest of my friend and colleague Paul Lumley, he's in the room here somewhere, then of NAEA, I learned how determined and indefatigable she was when it came to issues surrounding these populations, and I learned how personal it was to her. You may hear about, but her work with JFR, Jesse F. Richardson Foundation, that was her beloved mother. And when something's personal to somebody, they can really make a difference. And she has shown that inspiration over time. She identified an underserved need which was hiding in plain sight and filled it. Her unparalleled passion and, yes, vision for a population so in need of both is amazing, and her investment in time and treasure over the decades is incalculable. Among the more surprising things I gleaned from her was her ability to evolve. Understanding the changing demographics of Oregon, she and my fellow board members focused on making an equity-based agenda a focal point of how Age Plus was run in all ways, administratively, programmatically, strategically. You'll never convince me, you'll never make me believe that equity is a dirty word. Never, never. And neither does Karen believe that. This might not be what one would expect from a coal miner's daughter from West Virginia, but I can assure you it wasn't what I expected but she has flouted assumptions since I've known her. Today's current Age Plus focus on housing expansion to serve a chronic and growing need in the older adult population is yet another example of that. And while there are more, I'll stop here and simply say that I'm proud to be able to help present this well-deserved and aptly named Visionary Award and share in honoring a person who has kept her attention on a population that has too often been forgotten, older adults, just like me. Thank you. Thank you, Ben.
Marcus, thank you. I want to bring to your attention now, folks, that we have a surprise message for Karen coming from Washington, D.C., followed by a special tribute video. So please see the screens.
While I can't be with all of you for the celebration, I did want to make sure that you knew of my deep appreciation and admiration for Dr. Karen Brown Wilson. She has been a longtime advocate for older people and a really special friend. Since my early days with the Gray Panthers, I've known Karen to be a groundbreaking innovator. From building out the assisted living model in Oregon to leading up organizations like Age Plus and JFRF, she's created a legacy that's going to benefit all older people in our state. And her legacy is going to continue to grow thanks to the Shared Future Oregon plan. I don't know of a person more deserving of this recognition. Karen, a big, big, big congratulations on receiving the Visionary Award. Thank you for being in Seniors Corner across Oregon for years and years. I'm looking forward to the next time I can catch up with you and Michael.
My mother lived in a nursing facility for 10 years. And she never once believed that she couldn't live someplace else. So it was really, really hard because she never stopped believing that she could be in her own home. When I told her that I had decided to become a gerontologist, that's when she said the words that changed my life. She said, "Why don't you do something to help people like me?"
I first met Karen in the spring of 1991. She spoke at a conference about senior living. I had not heard anyone speak about a place for seniors that respected choice, privacy, and having shared risk around independence. Karen set out to change that. She and others began a new movement that was creating an alternative to traditional institutional care that has become now known as assisted living.
Everyone knows that Karen is the mother of assisted living, and really her pioneering efforts in assisted living really set the course for the entire industry. You may not know that Karen also is the mother of affordable assisted living. She had a commitment from early on to make sure that assisted living was going to be not just for people with high wealth, but also for people who had moderate and even low incomes. And so she has been a great source of affordability in assisted living.
You aren't merely a visionary, and you aren't merely a philanthropist. You're truly a visionary's visionary and a philanthropist's philanthropist. Who would have had not just the vision, but the chutzpah to think that something like assisted living, which was really only for an elite, small group of high-income folks, could become a standard across our country and really around the globe.
Executing your assisted living vision came with lots of excitement, some controversy, but your persuasion, your collaboration, and your pragmatic nature prevailed, and assisted living was born.
You've brought direct leadership and action at the state level for legislation around building seniors into the planning of communities around the state. You've transformed learning around senior living, not only through your own PhD, but through your teaching and your professorships at Portland State University.
We met back in 1990 when I first moved to Oregon. I was so inspired by what you were doing, and it took me on a path I did not expect in terms of my own career. I want to thank you on behalf of the Institute on Aging for supporting us and our students over the years at Portland State University.
So thank you, Karen, for your vision and your stubborn, or should I say, resilient leadership, for all those elders whose lives you have touched and whose lives have been enriched and honored.
Karen Brown Wilson has supported us in finding the way to establish a model of work that would be sustainable, low cost in terms of financial resources, and that would stimulate, improve the engagement of locals in supporting elders in despair in rural areas of Nicaragua. What I learned from her was the possibility of enhancing the capacities of local champions, local authorities, neighbors who were concerned about their elders in despair. I would always be grateful because working with her gave me the opportunity to learn how to create this way of work that would be permanent, no matter how hard the conditions would be.
It's totally fitting that you're recognized for all that you've accomplished, founding the Institute on Aging, the Jesse F. Richardson Foundation, and Age+, all by having both the vision and the strategies to connect communities and generations through innovation. We're so grateful for the contributions that you continue to create through community.
To describe Karen's vision is to paint a picture of a community with people across a lifespan, engaging and supporting one another. I live in Central Oregon, and with her help, I too have a vision of my own community where aging is celebrated and older people are supported to have the best possible quality of life. Thank you, Karen, for shaping my vision and for sharing yours to create a better world.
Karen Brown Wilson, you are an inspiration. When I think of leaders across Oregon, I think of people like you because you have this can-do spirit, this spirit of getting the job done now. You are able to accomplish anything you want to accomplish because you don't give up. And that's what makes you an amazing leader. Thank you, Karen.
Karen has taught me a lot of different things, but I have to say that never give up is one of the biggest learnings that I have been able to achieve with her. Also, she has taught me that instead of seeing a problem, we can see multiple solutions and to be creative and be able to succeed with the work we are planning to do.
I'm one of the many, many people who can truly say that my life has been made richer, fuller, and more worthwhile because you instilled in each of us, or perhaps drilled into each of us, the central tenet of your entire life. Do something.
Karen, thank you so much for your many contributions, and especially those to education and gerontology. Through scholarships, internships, and program initiatives, they have invested in students at community colleges through graduate schools.
I do remember, however, being told often about the importance of college, of hard work, of commitment, of goal setting and persistence. Extremely valuable precepts, every one of them. They're just great. But for me, compliance was difficult. But then around 1978, an epiphany, I could receive the benefit of all these noble truisms rather easily, and for the most part enjoyable. I could marry somebody who personifies every one of these things.
Congratulations, Karen, for going against all odds and being recognized today for your vision, hard work, and creating so many options for seniors. Well done.
Thank you, Karen.
Congratulations, Karen.
So folks, we're going to extend the award to Karen, and then we'll invite her to share with you her thoughts. Karen, congratulations from all of us assembled here on this historic first ever inaugural award.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you've done for us. Step aside here just a little bit. So that we are. Thank you. Thanks.
Well, I rolled these up, so I have to unroll them. Thank you. I'm about to cry. But I want you to know how honored I am to be in the same room with this year's Ageless Award honorees. Peggy, Roger's not in the room, but we saw him. Kay and Julie. And honorees of previous years here today. Margaret, Bernie and Bobby, Ed, Louise, Robert, although I forget and call him Bob, and Dan and Maria, as well as those who aren't with us and have passed on. You inspire us. You show us the vibrant possibilities of purpose-shaped lives. Our communities are richer because of you. Truthfully, I'm a little embarrassed, actually more than a little embarrassed, to receive this award. I wish I could share it, especially with my mom. 50 years ago, almost, it was her simple request, as you heard on the video, for me to do something to help people like her that inspired my life's work. My mother was poor. She was frail, and she needed the care and support of others to live her life. To me, she was one of many in our society without a voice. And it was her request that inspired my focus, my passion, and my drive to make change to happen to improve the lives of older adults. I wanted to be a voice for her and others like her. Some of you know, and you've heard, how determined and downright dogged I can be. Now you know the root of that willfulness. 50 years later, much has been accomplished. I am tremendously proud of we, all of you, of what we've accomplished. So let me thank you for being a voice on behalf of older adults who have none, for putting up with me, for inspiring me, for giving me hope and confidence that although much remains to be done, we will continue forward in shared future Oregon. So, lastly, I must point out how fortunate I have been to have a remarkable husband, Michael, who, along with many of you here today, gave me ideas, cheered me on, questioned me in the best possible ways,
and helped me keep going when the odds seemed insurmountable. Thank you for being in my life.
Karen Brown Wilson. Video? Let's learn a little bit more about the work of Age Plus and what Karen Brown Wilson has brought to us all.
Let's be real. We are all aging. Aging is living. But what do we want aging to be like for ourselves, our families, and communities? We've learned a lot over the past few years. We've seen how difficult it is to respond to urgent needs of older people, how fragile our support systems are. It was a wake-up call.
In less than 8 years, almost 25% of Oregon's population will be over the age of 65. This is a permanent shift, and it's our new reality.
We are unprepared for this momentous change. Yet this need not be a crisis. It is actually a tremendous opportunity. More than ever, Oregon needs older adults engaged as experienced workers, caregivers, and talented volunteers. This requires new planning by employers, communities, and families.
Well, it's going to take an all-hands-on-deck approach across sectors, across generations, to come up with solutions that work for Oregonians in every corner of the state, both urban and rural.
Already, we see urgent needs in housing, healthcare, caregiving, and behavioral health. These challenges are more pronounced for older adults who are isolated, underserved, and living with limited resources, often in rural areas. We have learned that it is not enough for resources to be available. They must also be accessible, equitable, and inclusive for all communities. At Age Plus, we're making room for older adults to contribute to their communities as they are able and willing. Uniting and empowering communities of all ages to embrace the aging process and address the challenges it poses. Helping grandparents raise grandchildren who do not fit into traditional boxes. Developing accessible, affordable housing that incorporates universal design. Convening stakeholders around aging issues that focus on what's strong, not what's wrong. And mobilizing our state to take action through advocacy and multi-sector planning. If the pandemic taught us anything, it is that we are more interdependent on each other than we realized.
We have a responsibility to act so that the lives that were broken, that were lost during the pandemic, that they mean something. This is about our shared future, where every generation thrives together.
After all, life is too valuable to waste at any age.
Join us.
All right. Spoiler alert, this is a fundraiser. And Stephanie is going to join me in raising a little money here for Age Plus. We've got a variety of levels. You can also give, there's by texting Ageless to 44321, AGELESS to 44321. And Stephanie, we've got some levels to start with. Want to kick us off?
Yes, I'm really, really excited to be able to kick us off at the $5,000 level. Thank you to Mark Stevenson, our board member, bidder number 208 at the $5,000 level. Thank you, Mark. If anyone else would like to join at the $5,000 level, please raise your bid card. I'd also like to thank Don Vollum, who can't be with us here today, who also gave at the $5,000 level. Sean Cooney, number 207, thank you, Sean, at the $5,000 level. Mary Dick, thank you. Thank you, Mary.
302.
302. Sorry. What he said. Thank you. Our next level is the $2,500 level.
Raise your bids, and there is bidder number 289,
Thank you,
$2,500
Kristen
level. So.
Johnson. Kristen McCall.
Oh, there we
from
go.
Johnson McCall.
257. Thank you very much. And 223 at the $2,500 level.
Tom Fink and Al Jubitz, thank you.
Cheers. And do we have some?
Bidder number 255. Where are you, Tony Lineweber? Thank you, Tony. And we mentioned Tom Fink. I'd also like to thank Ward Green. He donated $2,500 earlier this week. Do we have any other 2,500s in the room? Thank you.
At the $1,000 level. Let's see some cards out there. There we go.
Thank you, Ken Thrasher, number 256. Number 264. Number 201, Janet, thank you. Number 235, thank you.
Number
thank
142
you,
over here, thank you.
142, thank you.
And what's the 411? Number 411 over there.
Bobby Foster, thank you. 141, thank you, Allison at USI. Number 390, thank you. Number 432, thank you.
And we have some pre-ones that came in too, I believe, Stephanie.
We do. Peter Stott at the $1,000 level, thank you. Joyce Beasley at the $1,000 level, thank you. And John Scott, who couldn't be with us today at the $1,000 level.
Next level is the $500 level.
Please raise your bid cards at the $500 level.
Melissa.
371, Kristen Connor, thank you. 372, Kathy Swift, thank you. Number 249, Margaret Carter, thank you. Number 243, thank you. 215, Steve Percy, thank you. Number 260, thank you very much. Number 238, Dave Carbonneau. 233, thank you, Garner.
Number 206, Robert Bob Stoll. So
you take it from it.
Number 173, number 225, thank you. More over here, Stephanie.
Number 457, thank you. Number 389, Kay, thank you. Number 406, thank you. Number 400, Lisa Faust, thank you. Number 474, thank you. Number 355, thank you. And 353, thank you. Over here.
Over there.
Number 115, Thomas Bruner, thank you. Yeah. Number 117, David Silverman, thank you. We also have a match available for another 10 $500 gifts, thanks to Tina Costaneris, one of our board members. Can I get another 10 gifts at the $500 level for this match? Yeah. Number 102, thank you. Number 246, thank you, Tom Keeler. Number 351, thank you. Number 415, thank you, Maria. Number 344, thank you. Number 482, thank you.
You got that one, so yeah.
We just need 3 more. Number 148, thank you. Number 128, thank you, Bondana from AARP, Oregon. We just need 1 more.
Oh, someone's raising their hand back there. I believe that's Jay Bloom back there. Jay, is that you?
No, it's Michael DeShane.
Yeah, Michael
Thank
DeShane.
you, Michael. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Our next level is at the I want to also mention Julie Reynolds from our board at the $500 level and Susan Ehrman.
The $250 level. Anyone want to? Here they go, Stephanie. Call them out.
Number 303. Number 339. Thank you, Julie. Number 345. Number 306. Thank you, Russell. Number 370. Thank you, Emily. Number 369. Thank you, Tamara. 381. Number 276. Number 505. Number 217, thank you, Michael Alexander. Number 213, Jay Bloom. Number 219, thank you, Dan Ryan. Number 220, thank you, Antoinette Edwards. Number 187, thank you, Walt Dawson. Number 175, thank you. Number 156, thank you, Jan. Number 104, thank you, Mike Marshall.
And 132?
And 132, Joe Davis, thank you so much. And 1114, Lisa, thank you so much. Have I missed any? Have I missed? Number 385, thank
and number
you very
394.
much. 394, thank you, Tracy. We have some that have come in online. We have Ann Takamoto online. Thank you, Ann. Either through texting or
Kimberly Fusen for $1,000.
Oh, and we have a $1,000 gift from Kimberly Fusen that came online. Thank you. Paul Lumley at the 500. Did I miss you earlier, Paul? I apologize. Scroll back. Thank you. Brian Frank at the 250. Thank you very much.
And our final level, I'm going to do a little editing here, Stephanie. It's usually $100. But in honor of Peggy's upcoming 103rd birthday, this is the $103 level in honor of Peggy. So let's pay tribute to Peggy at the $103 level. Let's see him. Stephanie, take it away.
Woo! Number 143, number 147, 153, 214, 224, thank you, Burke. 227, 269, 252, thank you, Marcus. 275, 330, 335, 375, 321, 304, 305, 426, 403, 402, 401. 412, 413, 464, 407, 462, 396, 391, 456, 333, 380, 229, thank you, Mari. 113, thank you, Rachel. Please, and we have some online. Jan Loki, thank you, Jan. That's my aunt. I love her. Charlie Rozier, thank you. Marissa Fink. Marissa was instrumental in helping coordinate Peggy's nomination and video, and she was sick and could not accompany Peggy, but we thank you, Marissa. Michael DeBuer. Any other at the 100 level?
$103 level.
103 level.
Yes, yeah, so.
Number 275. Wow. We're overwhelmed and so appreciative. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for those wonderful gifts and donations to help this great cause. We are ahead of the game.
And we have
one more. Yeah, with them, again, thank the sponsors for their support tonight. I think, and Stephanie, go ahead.
We have there's some lucky winners at your tables. If your program has a flower sticker on it.
Take the flowers?
Nope.
No?
It means that you get the Enchanted Forest passes, thanks to the Enchanted Forest, that are in the white envelope on your tables. If you, in those, I know. In the white envelopes on your table, if you did make a pledge, this is my excitement for not saying this earlier, are donation envelopes. So if you raised your bidder card, you could either text to give that amount, or you can fill out the donation envelope in that big white envelope where the enchanted forest passes are. In terms of the flowers, if whoever birthday is closest to today, you get to take home the flowers. Enjoy your years.
And if anyone's interested in following in Julie and Peggy's footsteps and staying young by swimming, I just Googled the closest swimming pool to us. It's the Matt Dishman Community Center, a mile away. Let's all head right there right now, get some swimming in. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next year.
Take the flowers. Please do leave the table numbers. Thank you.